We've got the brand new officer here called Gridlock Architect, and it is a tank garrison defense. Think of it as a Steel Angel upgrade for Gen 5. So let's jump into the skills here. The first one is going to be grants this officer skill a shield coefficient of 2000, which is actually kind of the same as Steel. While this officer troop is garrisoned in the base, it increases the damage intensity of your garrison troops by 5% for 4 seconds. So overall, it's a pretty average skill. I mean, having an extra 5% garrison damage for all your troops is kind of cool, but it's nothing crazy. It's just 5% if I'm honest with you. Moving on to the second skill is a firepower buff of 20% and a damage intensity of 15%. In my opinion, it's still pretty lackluster. It's nice to have the 15% damage, but let's be honest, Gen 1 officers have 15% damage. So to add an extra 20% firepower on, we've already done the comparison. Firepower is very limited. So this is basically the same as almost a 20% damage intensity buff. Moving on, we have got HP buff and damage resist buff. Again, same kind of thing. It's not really that anything crazy if I'm honest with you. Moving on to the fourth skill, which is honestly a decent skill here. We've got increases the normal attack boost of this officer troop by 25% and the normal attack resilience by 25%. Again, this is a pretty decent skill for any tank really. Also for the rocket launcher and the anti-tank gun, these are generally decent skills. I would happily use that on any, so it's a nice skill to use for training. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because this officer has a really nice awaken skill. Now, that awaken skill increases the officer skill resilience of this officer's tank and helicopter by 20%, and their normal attack resilience by 20%. That part is pretty mid, but the next part here, when this officer's troop is garrisoned in the base, it increases base officer skill resist by 30% and base normal attack resist by 30%, meaning you can now stack this potentially with other defense officers to get even more. So I myself already have 30% damage resist for my base for Vox. I then have 30% skill resist from Steel Fighter. I then have 40% from Uncle. And if I was to get this one as well, that would be an extra 30% on top, meaning I would actually have 100% skill damage resist from an officer, and I would also have around a total of about 50 normal attack resist. And then on top of that, the 30% damage resist in general from Vox. So I'm wondering, guys, is this someone I need to get? Do I want to use 720 statues on what, quite frankly, is going to be 5% damage intensity and 30% resist to both normal attacks and to skill shots? I don't know. It's a tricky one. Obviously, I would then use this maybe here for some skill training or something. But I'm actually don't know if this is... I've been waiting a long time for a new defensive garrison style officer. And if I'm honest with you, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's worth 720 statues. Because as we just mentioned, Uncle has 40%. Now this person only has 30%. You know, sure, Uncle only offers 40% for just skills. Whereas this is offering 30% for skill and normal attacks. So obviously in that aspect it is definitely giving a little bit more, but overall I just don't know if this is going to be worth the 720 statues. Let me know down in the comments, guys, is in your opinion this worth it? I generally am still stuck, and it's going to take me a little bit of time to decide whether or not I want to get this officer. But Gridlock Architect is the newest officer coming out, and as I mentioned, it's a sort of upgrade from Steel Fighter, Uncle, those style of officers where they can be used in the field for your sort of more defensive MB or tank in general, but at the same time will offer you a bit of garrison protection. As always, I appreciate anyone who hit the like button on today's video. Share it out to your alliance, your members, your Discord servers, and I hope you all have an absolutely beautiful and amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.